A glance at human history will lead one to believe that they're a warlike and violent beings with no benefits to speak of. This, however, cannot be further from the truth, as today they're the best when it comes to trade and logistics. To understand how they become a dominant force in the intergalactic trade and shipping industry, one must look further into their conflicts and past their destructive weapons. An ancient human commander once said, "An army marches on its stomach," meaning that an army can only functions well when they're fed well. This has been true throughout their history. Greatest empire and armies were built through logistics, and they fell from the lack of it. All of that conflicts have forged them into the logistical masters they are today. In the industry of trade and shipping, a company needs to have some humans managing and running things here and there. Their cradle being a death world forces them to be resourceful and therefore efficient, using the least amount of resources needed to do a task instead of pouring less required resources that can be used elsewhere or other tasks. A common saying among shipping company owners is, "If you want it fast, go for cephalids. If you want it big, go for Varkin. If you want it cheap, go for Arden. And if you want it efficient, go for humans." A statement that is proven and are the guideline for new shipping companies to follow. Having some human ships in their fleet is a financial edge none could shy away from. However, human ships alone is not the most efficient thing companies could muster. Having human crews also play a role in the efficiency of how one's company is running. For example, the Varkin-owned Supernova Shipping Company have their largest ships, such as the Blue Star, Neutron Carrier, and Grand Bull, entirely manned by humans. The first year they does this, their report on their maintenance and repair expenditure went down by 7% across all of their 100-strong fleet, and their fuel expenditure went down by 9%. Supernova Shipping Company also gained more profit by employing humans. Them being from a death world means their needs are lesser than those from less deadly worlds, such as the Cephalids and the amphibian Verazian. This made their accommodations and energy consumption lesser, and if one's company is good enough in looking for crews, they could land themselves the best of both worlds: good performance on board and less wages. In terms of wages, humans usually asks for the average amount of wages for manning a ship, but for some countries where they came from, their pay could be as low as 20% from the standard amount paid for crews from other species. While most species could be paid 100 to 600 talents per day, humans' crew can be paid from 90 to 570 talents per day, and that amount is usually enough to keep them happy. Those who wants to have human crews on board their fleet must heed this warning. There very quickly gets bored if there is nothing they can do, which is the majority of the time on board a moving ship. Therefore, it is a must for companies to put as much entertainment items and apparatus on board to keep them busy. Human food is also a matter worth discussing. While it is true that the omnivorous humans can eat just about anything, it is important for companies to supply them with enough variety of food as to not get them bored. Adding a human cook on the crew can also be beneficial, as they prefer freshly cooked food rather than packaged food. They usually eat 2 or 3 times per day, and therefore companies must supply the ship at least double that of ships crewed by different species. Snacks and beverages are also encouraged to be restocked on each ports, as they might not last one trip. A gym inside the ship can be beneficial for the human crews to use, as some of them would use their free time to exercise. The lack of gym might forces them to use their own private quarter or run around the cargo bay area. While running around the cargo bay is not prohibited, this might clash with the patrol routes of the guards. Hiring human guards is recommended for companies' fleet, as they're stronger and faster than most species due to their upbringing in a death world. This, however, would come at the price of more human accommodations. Humans are a bit of a demanding being, but their benefits for a company cannot be understated. Many young companies have prospered from having humans manning their fleet, and many more will come as the intergalactic trades grow and demands for goods and people to be moved around increases.